Alright, so you guys can see the fuel rail is pretty buried in there on both sides. So in order to take that off, I need to take off all this top stuff. The throttle body elbow, the throttle body, air intake, tubes, EGR, all that good stuff. So, and those look like they're pretty rusty back there, so it's going to be fun getting those lines off. So now that I have most of the top end apart, or as far as the air intake and everything goes, and throttle linkage is all undone, all the vacuum lines are undone. I actually found a melted vacuum line. It must have hit the EGR tube at one point, and it's got a hole in it, so I'll have to replace that. Now I can start taking off the throttle body, and I think while I'm in here I'm going to replace the EGR valve, because I've never replaced. So but you can see the fuel rail is back there. Those are the two lines I showed you earlier on the other on my new fuel rail, and you can see they're quite rusted together. So that's going to be fun to get them out. So I got my throttle body off, and now I need to take the elbow off, which consists of about 4 bolts. One here, 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 and here. Take those off, and that'll come right out. Well, minus the plug on the back of the idle air control motor, which I'll take off when I get the elbow unbolted. And then I have access to the top of the motor pretty much. So I may end up taking off my heater core line, and maybe a few other things that get in the way, but shouldn't be too bad. Then I'll be able to get to the AC dryer, which is back there. You can see it's the same type of plug as a fuel line, or connector as a fuel line. I can do that, and then the AC dryer will come out. I can replace that, put my condenser in, and the fan trap. Hey guys, so I got most of my top end apart. My fuel rail's unbolted, the system's depressurized. I have to figure out how to get those plugs off that I showed you earlier on this fuel rail, because they're really rotted and they're hard to get off. I tried getting them off with the tool I showed you again earlier, and they're too rusted on, so I'll have to figure that out. Other than that, you can see everything's quite disassembled up here. Still haven't decided if I'm going to replace the injectors. I'd like to, but I don't know if I'm going to. And back there is the receiver dryer connection. I don't know if you can see that. So I had to take the throttle body, the elbow, intake off, disconnected all my power lines and the wiring harness, because that was in the way to undo the fuel rail. So it's looking good so far. Hopefully tomorrow I can get up and maybe yank the Y pipe or something off and get a little bit further with it. So we'll see.